Hello, everybody. Just looking at some juniors today. As my rabbits are growing, I always have to look at them and evaluate things. I have 2 black bucks here. This is 40 below. They're probably approaching the 3-ish month age range. I do really like his body type. He actually has a really nice taper, although for the first time I'm doing a little bit of hip on him. I like his natural ear carriage. It goes straight up, though they could be more filled with substance. Promising head shape, nice and wide in the lower chin quarter. I think his shoulder could be a little better, but it's not bad. That's what we got for back to work with. Really pretty wide there. Ears touching pretty well from base to tip, although I can see a little flange. Eyes pretty mid, I would say. Could improve with time. But I really enjoyed this buck. I think he's just in his uglies right now, but I think he could be really cute. This is another buck I'm holding on to. I don't think I named him yet. I was almost calling him, but he grabbed my attention before I sent them out. So, honestly, a very similar buck, to be honest. I would just say his lower hindquarter is not as strong. Sprennan's quite similar, although his ears don't carry as perfectly. His top profile is very similar, but his lower hindquarter, in my opinion, is a little bit more pinched. But yeah, they honestly are pretty similar rabbits. This one just has some of that wow factor that I'm looking for. He just has a great structure. I do have to fight this on the structure a little bit more, which I don't like. I think his shoulder's a little worse, maybe. For me, natural posing is a huge part of the evaluation, too, and this rabbit kind of sets up really easily. This one you can see a little bit of awkwardness about the head tilt and shoulder. So that's their biggest difference, probably. For now, I'm still holding on to both of those. They're still pretty young and they've got time to grow. Okay, here's my Briar kid. Briar is a beautiful chocolate buck, but he has faded color. Well, she got the same thing. Faded color. It's not too horrible, but it's not great. For me, she appears a little broody, but I do like what I see. I think her front end, as their ears are just kind of plain to me. They are not as thin as some of my other rabbits. Top line, I think she peaks early too, which is a common problem in my third, but her body fullness is pretty stellar. I mean, her lower hindquarter is quite full to the table. You can see here. That's what I like to see when I'm looking at hindquarter. Her ears are just a bit folded. I'm seeing some flange from the front, so the rotation of them is not quite right. Head and eye. Her eye's actually fairly promising, to be honest. It's just really her collar that's quite faded. She is a promising doe, though. Again, the shoulder. I wouldn't describe either of these rabbits as having a strong shoulder, but it's definitely an improvement from some of my previous generations. So she poses okay. Okay, so those are a few months old. Okay, I know this is a broken buck. For me, he's probably one of the less spectacular that I'm holding on to right now, but I think he could grow into himself. But again, you're seeing him fight with me in the shoulder. See how he kind of tends to want to poke his head out almost? You're seeing a slight low shoulder here. That's where his comfortable positioning for his neck is, which indicates a low shoulder, which I can't tolerate much more of in my herd. But he's pretty cute in body type. I want to see more depth on him, more wow. but I like him enough to hold on for now. His body fullness is nice throughout, like he's not bony or protruding anywhere. I would say his front end's pretty plain right now. Lower hindquarters, good, not spectacular, not bad. Again, on these ears lately, I don't love the tilt that they're coming in, slightly showing some flange, and again, they're just a little thin and, folded. So this one's a question mark. I don't know. I don't want to send him away just yet, if that makes sense, but I'm still not too sure what he's going to turn into. These ones are only like 2.5 months old, so these ones are still in the very early evaluation stages. This doe has a low shoulder as well, but I was going to give her a chance because her dam had kind of a low shoulder and then really grew into it. Like she didn't have that issue when she was older. But this one, you can see again that she's kind of fighting me in the front end when I'm trying to pose her. She's definitely molt. I actually kind of like her ears. She's got thickness to them, and they carry nice and straight, actually, touching from base to tip. It's hard to see from there, maybe, but the flanges still, I can still see flanges. Body type, honestly, it's not developing too much, but we'll see. We'll give it some time yet. I'm trying to not rush and call too fast. She has 3 brothers. They're all around that 2.5 months age. Like, they're pretty young. This is one of the boys. Actually, kind of like, as you can see, he's tiny. The other doe is a little large for the age, too. I actually like how his ears are carrying right now. It's really beautiful. Even his front end is more promising. I don't know if you can see. I like the arch to his skull. His ears are carrying more erect and they're carrying close. I like the tilt on them too. They're not showing flanges from the front. His eyes promising. It's more bold. He's smaller in type.
Yes.
Now let's see body. I would say he actually has a lot of fullness, even all the way to the table. I think he just maybe lacks depth right now, but even his high point isn't too bad. It's a bit forward, but not like some of my other rabbits. And here's his lower hindquarter. Pretty full. But I actually think he's pretty promising for his age. I love the way his ears popped up. A lot of times the youngers, their ears lay back no matter what, but at some point they start to present more how they will over time. And I'm really liking his front end, actually. I like that start for sure. So he'll probably stick around for a while. So these 2 are also larger like that sister. I don't know if they're going to grow too large to even show. It's very possible. These are boys. I was originally just going to call, but I'm being patient because I really wanted to benefit from the depths on that dam. It's chic. She's very deep. Her body type is just chef's kiss. These boys, I think they're just big, ugly bucks. We are seeing some body type for sure. Let's see here. It's just, yeah, I just think they're just big. I mean, even the body type just isn't enough for me to keep a large buck for. Front end on this one, pretty unspectacular. I don't know. We'll give him a little more time. I'm not going to jump into anything, but definitely not a looker for me. And this boy, he's a little smaller than the siblings. Let's see. Again, fighting me a little bit on my shoulder, but not too bad. I really like his ears. They're a little more open. They have promise for good furring and pretty good placement too, right on top of that head. I could go a little more forward, but his eyes pretty promising too. Skull shape, I like. Now body type, he wants to carry his head just a touch high. Body type is a little bit average for me. It's just not quite deep enough, maybe. I was feeling a little hips here, and then especially the lower hindquarter. For me, I noticed that he comes in a little more. I'm sure to you guys it doesn't look that way, but according to his structure, he does cut in a little, especially on this side. But again, giving him some time. I'm not going to make any rash decisions. This is my Kiefer from the recent rouse. She's a beautiful otter. So you can see her beautiful coloration. This is Mayfly. And see her in action right now. Just look at her. She's pretty good in structure. I could improve on the shoulder, but not bad. Her ears are thick. They carry close. You don't see any flanges from the front. Her head and eye are really beautiful. I love the front end on this doe a lot. Not only that, but her body's full and pretty tightly, honestly. I would say, obviously, maybe move that high point a little bit more. Put it maybe right here instead of, it's about right here right now. But the fullness of body is beautiful. I kind of like me a sort of chunky bone. I don't want to go crazy, obviously, but I like that medium bone, and she's definitely got that. Lower hindquarter is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like her top strength, but she definitely carries. I just love her front end, and she's overall really typey doe. Like, I think if she weren't otter, she would be a very competitive rabbit. I mean, just look at that face. Yeah, I think her biggest flaw is just peaking early, to be honest. She can see, but she still presents as short. Will fold. I think she'll show well. Obviously, they're not showable yet, but she's freaked out. But they can be exhibited, so I'm probably going to do that a little bit. Because of the other two they're just about 6 months. This one's being sold. He has, he has a buyer lined up. He's a bit awkward. Like, I have a couple bucks that I've used who are a bit awkward in structure, and he's carried that. He also recently took a romp about the barn, so he kind of dampened his white color, but he does have a beautiful top line. He does peak a little early and slopes off, but he has depth. He needs to be paired with a strong shoulder because he can tend to have a similar shoulder issue. This kind of throws off his pose a little bit. He's got great substance to the ears. His front end, I would say, it's fairly plain, to be honest, but he's just a bit awkward in structure, but he does carry fullness to the lower hindquarter, and I think he'll help out the buyer and his forward. This is another doe that has a shoulder and ear failure, in my opinion. But I'm holding on to her for now. She does have some nice traits. She's going to pick you. She's going to want to pose this way. But I love a lot about her. She reminds me a lot of Rolo, who had this kind of like solid, not super deep, but very solid and wide body type. And then in the front end, just kind of, like, I do like the substance in her ears. They carry fine. Her head is fine. Eye fine. I wouldn't say any of her front end is really spectacular in any way. Same as her shoulder. She does have a tiny bit of a shoulder issue. She's more comfortable like this than she would be like this. But she's here for now. I haven't decided if I'm keeping or selling her yet, but she is a pretty nice Rudo from what I've created. I love her fullness of body. But yeah, she's the last one. She's almost 6 months. So I think that's all of my youngsters right now. Oh, I actually forgot 2 youngsters. I have 2 young does that I actually really like. I'll take them out for you. Okay, these does are siblings, and they are probably in like the 2.5 length range. They're pretty young, but they're promising. All right, yeah. So I think they're siblings. First, you got this beautiful Brooklyn doe. Okay, so first of all, she's got stunning heavy pattern, right? Her ears carry stunning on her skull. They're high. They're not folded and they're not tilted incorrectly. They're just beautiful. Her head and eye I'll say her eye's pretty good. Her head's fine. We'll see what time gives her. But I love her body type too. She does peak almost exactly where she should, which is rare in my herd right now. She's a little long in this part of her body, but not by a lot. She's still a pretty short rabbit. I think she's going to grow nice. I'm really excited about her, actually. Lower hindquarter, nice and full. Can see that shape you want to see in a lower hindquarter. So I'm really excited about her. Her sister is plainer about the front end, but otherwise very similar. She's a little more awkward in structure and shoulder, which I'm not happy about for sure, but she's still a typey little girl. Pretty good at high point. She's got good depth. She's still a beautiful rabbit. She just peaks a little early for me. Again, those thin folded ears, they carry pretty nicely, but they're still thinner and folded. Front end is like head. Actually, her head and eye are pretty cute. I think her head and eye are pretty promising for her age. And lower hindquarter, hers is not as great as her sister's, but it's still good. The thing is, I can't really keep rabbits that promote the same flaws that I'm seeing in my herd. And with her, she's going to probably continue those flaws. Although if she's in a different herd, she could really bring some great traits to them that could help balance each other out. So she could be on the Polish sales list. We'll see, Polish national sale list. But she's a very typey young doe. But she has some of the flaws that I'm avoiding, so we'll see how she grows. But definitely my favorite grow out right now is this broken doe. She's just a natural. She's got a solid structure in her beautiful top line, helping to correct that early peak that I'm working on. Air carriage and everything. Yeah, I'm really stoked about her. I hope that she continues to grow nicely. So, yeah, I think those are all my grow outs now. I'm excited to watch some of these little babies I just have born grow because I have some dileys, like 4 of them, I think, maybe 5. And I have some possibly broken otters. So I'm excited to see what they grow into and just to have more dilate in the herd altogether because I haven't gotten much. So, yeah, those are all my littles. Thank you for watching.